Hello, book nerds. So I'm here to go over my quarantine book haul. There's some I've been gifted, and then others that I did a big, I think, book outlet order, and one or two Amazon to get me through this. The one good thing that's come out of quarantine is I've had more reading time than I I can't even remember the last time I had this much reading time. So we'll go ahead and get into it. So my baby brother, surprise, sent me the Priory of the Orange Tree, which is almost the size of my face. I feel like this book alone could get me through quarantine. But I'm super excited. It's gorgeous to begin with. There's dragons and dragon riders, and apparently it's feminist too. So he read it the other week, said that I would love it, and surprised me with it. So thank you, Bear. I love this. And then his fiance, my future sister-in-law, Kate, knew I wanted this book, Let Your Mind Run, a memoir of thinking my way to victory by Dina Castor. So she's an Olympic athlete, a distance runner, I believe. So this book is about kind of her struggling, and then she got a new coach, and it's her changing her mind to be kinder to herself and more encouraging, and how that helped her be better than she ever imagined. And I think she won the first US Olympic medal in like 20 years for our country after training with this guy. So I don't know, it should be really good. Help with performance. I'm starting to get into trail running now that we realized that I'm severely allergic to tree pollen, and that's why I get asthma outside. We're putting me on things to help that, so I can finally be a long distance trail runner. So let's see what other fun things I got. This book is gorgeous, The Feather Thief. I've seen it. I've almost bought it a few times just because it's pretty. And you're a liar if you say you don't buy books sometimes, because they're just beautiful. So yeah, this is about this guy who was 23. He stole hundreds of birds from the British Natural History Museum. It's a nonfiction, but apparently it reads like a real thriller, and I think like he stole them to go fly fishing. So this should be very interesting, a little crazy. We'll see. The next one I got is Hunted by Megan Spooner. This one's a young adult, so probably read it nice and fast, which is good. But yeah, it's a take on Beauty and the Beast. Need I say more? If a book's a take on Beauty and the Beast, 99% chance I will read it. So we got that. Next is Tiger King. Oh no, The Night Tiger. Tiger King is that crazy show on Netflix that makes my skin crawl a little, and has also made it so my boss starts all our emails with, "Hello, cool cats and kittens." So yeah, but I mean, Tiger King and the memes for Tiger King have actually been really helping during this quarantine. So make me feel normal at least. So this is The Night Tiger by Yangshi Chu. Hopefully I said that right. So it's about this woman, Jin Lee. She gets a souvenir as she's working as like a dance girl on the side. I think it's not a good souvenir, and it leads her into like this dark adventure, and she meets 11-year-old Ren. And he has like 49 days to find something for his master, or his master's soul will pretty much wander the earth forever. So there's unexplained deaths going on. There's apparently men who can turn into tigers, and then it's also kind of a coming of age story and finding your place in society. So it sounds really good. Plus it's got my name on it, Reese's Book Club. So you know, if it has that, there's higher chance I'll read it. Another one I'm excited about, I don't know if I'll get to this anytime soon because it's huge, and I feel like it's gonna take me a while because I read fantasy slower. I don't know about you guys, but especially certain ones I know I'll read this slowly, just slowly really building this world in my head. But this story, there's unrequited love that results in the main character finding kind of a magical painting, sending him on this like perilous journey into the Netherlands. So I've heard so much about this author. I've been wanting to read him for a while, so hopefully I get to this. But I know it's going to be amazing, and I'm excited to finally see what this guy is about. Okay. Nottingham. Hello. It's a Robin Hood retelling, so yes, please. I love any mythological fairy tale, that kind of thing. I love Robin Hood. So this is described as: was the sheriff of Nottingham a tyrant or beleaguered, public servant? Was the man they called Robin Hood a gentleman thief or petty terrorist? Was Lady Marian his maiden love, or the mastermind behind it all? The legend depends on who lives to tell the tale. So this should be fun. In Goodreads, it was ranked pretty high on Goodreads, so yeah. I'm excited about that one. This was my book of the month, The Library of Legends by Janie Chang. This just sounds beautiful and magical. It's set in 1930s China, which I honestly don't know like anything about. Hulian is ordered to flee. It's like her whole school has to evacuate, so they all leave to go on this 1,000-mile walk to safety, all while getting like aerial attacks. And then they meet up with this other group that's carrying this like priceless treasure, which is pretty much books with these legends in them. So I don't know, there's danger, immortals awaken, there's guardian spirits, there's family secrets. This just sounds pretty like an awesome adventure around. So this one I'm super excited for. I'm probably gonna read it in like next 3 or 4 books. Okay, the Gospel of Loki. Again, Norse mythology. So my dad's side's Viking, so if it's Norse mythology, it was probably pushed on me as a child, and I love it. So this is about the rise and fall of the Greek gods from Loki's perspective, which should be very interesting. So yeah, Norse mythology, mythological retelling, check. Definitely going to read this soon. One that I've heard a lot of buzz about, City of Girls by Elizabeth Gilbert. I've never actually read Elizabeth Gilbert, and I think I have like 2 other books by her. I have The Big Magic. I know I need to read it. I should do that soon while I have time to be creative. But this one sounds great. It's about Vivian. She's 19. She's kicked out of Vassar, goes to live with her aunt in New York, who has like a kind of failing theater house, gets involved in a scandal that apparently like shapes her whole life. So it sounds kind of awesome. She's telling the story apparently as she's 98, and I like this quote that she gives: at some point in a woman's life, she just gets tired of being ashamed all the time. After that, she's free to become whoever she truly is. I totally agree. So this sounds really cool. I'm interested to know what the scandal is that shapes her. Sith, finally need to read these. The 3rd one's out. I think everybody's already read all 3, so I'm not even going to talk about this really. I think everybody has already talked about it on book 2. This one I'm excited for. The Confessions of Franny Langton, so by Sarah Collins. I feel like this one is going to be one of those ones where you get halfway through and you can't do anything but finish it. So it's like a trial, and she's accused of murdering her employer and his wife, and she doesn't know what happened. Like, she wakes up with blood on her, can't recall, but she does go back and talks about how she got there from like her early life on a Jamaican plantation to now, and all, I think, like all the horrible things that have happened to her. So it's a take on like race, class, oppression, a woman just trying to make it in the world that is completely stacked against her. So this I'm super excited for. Really looking forward to that one. Another one that's gonna take me a while is These Truths by Jill Lepore. Right, yeah, Jill Lepore. So heard a lot of great things about it. I was a history major. I love history, so I'm excited for this. I'm probably gonna read a little bit at a time over a few weeks as I read alongside fiction books. I got a lot of travel memoirs to get through quarantine. I already read this one, Hippy. I'll talk about that in a wrap-up video. I might have to do 2 separate wrap-up videos for this because I'm not used to reading this much. The Warrior's Guide to the End of the World by Tori DeRoche. Probably not saying that right either. So it's about kind of a girls' trip. She starts in Tuscany and then they end up going for a pilgrimage, doing in the footsteps of Gandhi, like his march to the sea. And it goes really bad. And there's a lot of scary stuff that happens. And at the heart of this, it's about how friendship kind of saves us in our darkest moments, especially probably female friendship. So I feel like this one I'll fly through because I'm very interested in that. Lands of Lost Borders, Out of Bounds on the Silk Road. I've seen this in REI a few times. They do stock a few books and I've almost bought it at REI like 5 times in a row, and I'm like, no, I'll wait till it shows up for cheaper somewhere else. But yeah, it's pretty much they ride, her and her friend, let's see, Kate Harris and her friend Mel Ewell set off on bicycle to travel the Silk Road from beginning to end. So sounds good. And the quote, I like the quote at the top. This is a hymn to the pure love of friendship, a brave and astonishing journey. So again, another travel memoir. 2 more travel memoirs. An Odyssey, A Father, a Son, and the Sea by Daniel Mendelsohn. So this is about the guy, Daniel teaches at Bard College, and he teaches Odyssey as one of the classes, and his dad enrolls. And I think his dad is like kind of heckles him and is impossible in the class, arguing things. And then him and his dad actually go to the Mediterranean and get on a ship to follow the path of Odysseus and kind of their relationship and what happens with that. So it's like travel memoir mixed with family relations. It just sounds great. And my dad's like my #1 travel companion. So this is probably gonna hit home for me. And along those lines is Lassoing the Sun, A Year in America's National Parks by Mark Woods. This one I'm also excited for, and it's another one that's completely going to remind me of my dad. When he retires, I want to do the Appalachian Trail with him, but it's long, so I think we'll probably kind of start at either the top or the bottom, and each summer do like a week of where we left off getting through. So that's the plan. But I feel like this will remind me of him. It's a story about a man, and he at 50 was like burnt out, so he decided to take a year off to go to all the national parks and talk about the future of him. And in the midst of that, his mom got cancer. And so this has a lot to do with not just the parks, but also family and the legacies that they leave behind, and how our families are also connected to these parks and the memories we make in them. So it's like a love letters to family and parks, which are 2 very important things to me. So this sounds really good. I think I'm almost done. Last 3, Notes on a Nervous Planet. I just feel like this is like the most perfect book right now. Matt Haig. I don't know how to pronounce anybody's name. And it's kind of how do we stay sane and happy, and how do we live in the moment. And he's dealt with anxiety and things his whole life. And I think it's a lot of like kind of small little stories in here. So I feel like this is perfect to like pick up, read one, maybe a few, put down. But yeah, so hopefully this helps. And hopefully if it's good, there's people I can give it to that would really enjoy it. Kill the Farm Boy by Delilah Dawson and Kevin Hearn. Yeah, this is supposed to be kind of like Monty Python-esque, which sounds awesome. I mean, it's just a funny take on fairy tales. There's like a talking goat. There's a warrior who doesn't like her chainmail bikini. And who would, really? And so yeah, assassin afraid of chicken. And I think the bad guy's name is Dark Lord Toby. So this should be funny. And I know there's a sequel. There might be a third, but I know there's a sequel called No Country for Old Gnomes, or no, something like that. I don't know. But it seems pretty funny. And the last one I got is The Goblin Emperor by Catherine Addison. I heard Liberty Harding mentioned this more than once on her All the Books podcast, which is great if you guys don't listen to it. I just love her. I don't know how she reads as many books as she does. She's awesome. But yeah, it's fantasy, underdog, court intrigue, so like politics, all that stuff. It sounds pretty amazing. So this one I'm excited to get to. So yeah, that wraps up my gigantic heap of quarantine books. Now's the race to try to get them all read before I'm back in school full time and cannot devote all this time to escaping the world around me. I'm interested to know what you guys are reading for quarantine, and I'll do a wrap up soon of what was good and what was not. And I hope everybody is surviving and finding fun things to do and staying connected to people they love. And I'll see you guys next time. Bye.